We have an update from our Las Vegas bureau. Anna Kui was at the scene. Anna?
We are here at the headquarters of the Las Vegas Police Department, where we just received an update from Sheriff Joe Lombardo, and this is what we know now. According to him, about 10:08 local time, there were multiple shots heard from Mandalay Bay 32nd floor, which was directed at the concert that was happening, the Route 91. It was a country music festival concert at that time, happening at that time. First responders did engage with the shooter, and he is now dead. He is reported dead. A local resident, his name has not been released. He is believed to have a roommate by the name of Marilou Danley. She's an Asian female, 4'11", about 111 pounds, and they are trying to locate her at this time. They also reported 2 vehicles that they're trying to locate, one of which is a Hyundai Tucson, license plate 114B40, and a Chrysler Pacifica Touring, license plate 19D401. So they are looking for those. At this time, they don't have any accurate numbers of casualties, but they do report that they have 100+ injured and 20+ dead. Unfortunately, one of those critically injured is one of the first responder police officer who is in critical condition at this time, and 2 off-duty officers who believed to be attending the concert have also been reported dead. It is confirmed. He confirmed that this is a one active shooter. There was no multiple shooting, and he also confirmed that there was no explosives that was reported earlier, especially on social media. So this is not an act of terrorist. He repeatedly say that this is only a one-man shooter, and he is now dead, and they believe that there is no more threat at this time. For the families of the people who attended the concert, those of them who are not able to get a hold of their family, Red Cross are setting up here at the headquarters for some information to help them locate their families. So they're asking for them not to call, but to simply come here, and they will try their best to help them. Sheriff Lombardo said that this is a devastating event, and they are doing their best. It is an ongoing investigation, and they will give more updates as more information come. From the Las Vegas Bureau, I'm Anna Kui, and I'm 1 with 25.
Thank you, Anna. Meanwhile, video on social media showed people panicking during the shooting in Las Vegas late on Sunday U.S. time. Now we want to warn you that the video may be disturbing. Take a look. Now, the video clips posted online showed what sounded like automatic weapons as panicked concert goers fled. And as you see there, they were dropping to the ground, screaming. Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Sheriff Joseph Lombardo, though it's too early to give an accurate estimate of the number of dead and wounded. Lombardo said earlier it was 20+, but now it's confirmed that 50 are now confirmed dead and 200 more are injured. Country singer Jason Aldean was performing outside the hotel at Route 91 Harvest, a country music festival, when it was interrupted by the sound of automatic gunfire. Now, Las Vegas Metropolitan Police said 1 suspect has been killed. They don't believe there are any other shooters. And police said they are also seeking a woman they named as Marilou Danley, described as a companion or the girlfriend of the suspect. Off-duty police officers are among the dead, according to Lombardo. 2 police officers are also being treated for injuries. 1 officer is in critical condition and the other has minor injuries.
And an update, the gunman killed at least 50 people and wounded more than 200 at a country music festival on the Las Vegas Strip, raining down rapid fire from the 32nd floor of a hotel for several minutes before he was shot dead by police. The death toll, which police emphasized was preliminary and tentative, would make the attack the deadliest mass shooting in U.S. history, eclipsing last year's massacre of 49 people at an Orlando nightclub. Here's the update from Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department Sheriff Joe Lombardo.
Now, the number of injuries, I do not know yet, but we are looking in excess of 50 individuals dead and over 200 individuals injured at this point. That is why I'm portraying it in that manner. Now, the suspect, I am going to provide you his identity at this point. His name is Stephen Paddock. Last name spelled P-A-D-D-O-C-K, with the date of birth of 4/9 of 1953. As far as his history and background, we haven't completed that part of the investigation yet, but we located numerous firearms within the room that he occupied, and that's, like I stated earlier, it's going to be a long and tedious investigation. Now, we're bringing in all the resources of the FBI to assist us in this investigation, in particular to their victim witness advocates and their CSI folks to help us process the scene and ensure that we're getting all the evidence that we can possibly obtain. Obviously, this is a tragic incident and one that we've never experienced in this valley. So what we're going to try to do is the best we can to get our first responders back on their feet and responding and conducting a proper investigation and ensure that we have the safety of this community at heart. My condolences go out to the loved ones that lost their lives and their families, and we will do the best we can to make it as easy as possible for you to get information as we know it.
Meanwhile, police hunting for the female roommate of a gunman who killed at least 50 people attending a concert in Las Vegas say they have located her. The city's police force said the male suspect was a local resident named as 64-year-old Stephen Paddock, and he was confirmed dead early on in the investigation, leaving officers searching for the 62-year-old associate named as Marilou Danley. Clark County Sheriff Joseph Lombardo said investigators had found the woman, whom he described as Asian, 4'11" tall, and weighing 111 pounds. Now, a Hyundai Tucson vehicle understood to be owned by Miss Danley was also been found by police. Now, Marilou's LinkedIn profile said she was a gambling and casino professional who lived in Reno, Nevada. Between 2010 and 2013, she worked as a hostess for the Atlantis Casino Resort Spa. And Danley and the shooter are said to be roommates or companions or girlfriend, boyfriend, though the precise nature of their relationship has not been made clear. Now, U.S. records show Paddock lived in a 3-year-old $396,000 two-bedroom home in the tiny desert community of Mesquite, 80 miles northeast of Las Vegas near the Arizona border. And local media said he had also previously lived in Reno, Nevada, California, and Florida. And Friends Tonight just learned, confirmed Danley had lived on the Gold Coast for more than a decade in Australia and was married to an Australian man who has since died before moving to the U.S. about 20 years ago. The Australian reported tonight that Danley held an Australian passport and was possibly of Indonesian descent.
President Donald Trump is extending condolences to the victims of the shooting in Las Vegas and their families. In a tweet, Trump offered "my warmest condolences and sympathies to the victims and families of the terrible Las Vegas shooting. God bless you." White House spokeswoman Sarah Huckabee Sanders said Trump was briefed on the horrific tragedy in Las Vegas. Sanders said that "we are monitoring the situation closely."
All right, we want to show you again this video clip posted online showing what sounded like automatic weapons. And you can see panicked concert goers fleeing, dropping to the ground, screaming. Take a look. Very disturbing. All right, we'll be back with more news right after this break. Stay tuned.
A knife man killed 2 women at the main train station in the French Mediterranean city of Marseille in an attack claimed by the Islamic State group before being shot dead by soldiers on patrol. One of the victims had her throat slit by the assailant, a man with a criminal record believed to be in his 30s, who witnesses said shouted Allahu Akbar, or God is great, at the start of his rampage. Troops serving in a special 7,000-strong force known as Sentinels set up to guard vulnerable areas in terror-hit France responded to the stabbings and shot dead the attacker, whose identity remains unknown. French Interior Minister Gérard Collomb said about a dozen witnesses were being questioned. Heavily armed police sealed off the evacuated the ornate rail terminus in the bustling heart of France's second biggest city, stopping all train traffic on some of the country's busiest lines. The latest deaths came with France still on high alert and under a state of emergency following a string of attacks in recent years by extremists linked to the Islamic State group or Al-Qaeda. Since 2015, a total of 239 people have been killed in France by jihadists, according to an AFP account before Sunday's incident.
Meanwhile, the man suspected of carrying out Sunday's attack in the French city of Marseille, killing 2 people, had been arrested and then released by police 2 days before the incident, according to a source close to the police investigation. Now, the source said the suspect, who went by 8 different identities or aliases, was stopped by police in Lyon on September 29 on suspicion of robbery. He was then released for a lack of evidence. The suspect's identity remained unclear. A soldier shot the suspect dead after he had stabbed 2 women to death at the Marseille main train station on Sunday in what officials described as a likely terrorist attack.
Prime Minister Mariano Rajoy said Spain's northeastern region of Catalonia failed to hold an independence referendum after more than 760 people were injured in clashes between police and voters during a ballot Madrid said was illegal. Spanish police.
A esta hora puedo decirles con toda rotundidad lo que todos ustedes ya saben y lo que hemos constatado a lo largo de esta jornada. Hoy no ha habido un referéndum de autodeterminación en Cataluña. Sabían que el referéndum era ilegal, improcedente e imposible, pero decidieron seguir adelante y promover un verdadero ataque al Estado de Derecho y al modelo democrático sin que le importase nada ni nadie. Somos el Gobierno de España y yo soy el presidente del Gobierno de España y he asumido mi responsabilidad. Hemos cumplido con nuestra obligación. Hemos actuado, como dije desde el principio, con la ley y solo con la ley.
Spanish police broke into a polling station in Catalonia on Sunday, where Catalan leader Carlos Puigdemont was due to vote in a banned referendum. In a town in Girona province, civil guard police smashed glass panels to open the door at a polling station and search for ballot boxes. The officers wearing riot gear arrived moments before the Catalan leader was scheduled to vote, trying to manage a large crowd of people waiting to enter the voting center to cast their ballots. As a group of officers forced the door open and burst into the center, clashes between the crowd of voters and civil guard officers outside began. Puigdemont cast his ballot later in the morning in the nearby village of Cornellà del Terri in the province of Girona, not in the polling station originally planned. At least 92 people were injured. Clashes between police and protesters, 2 of them seriously. A spokeswoman for the Catalan government's health department said, out of a total of 761 people who went to hospitals and health centers. Spain's Interior Ministry said 33 police officers needed medical treatment. Police baton charged and fired rubber bullets to disperse crowds, protecting polling stations in Barcelona and other towns and cities in the Catalan region. Videos posted on social media showed police dragging voters from polling stations by their hair, throwing people downstairs and attacking Catalan firefighters who were protecting polling stations. Catalan President Carles Puigdemont said police had used indiscriminate force against people demonstrating peacefully. Police had closed 319 polling stations set up for the referendum. Catalan government spokesman Jordi Turull told a news conference. The Catalan government had said on Friday it would have some 2,300 polling stations across Catalonia, but it was unclear how many actually opened. Several leftist Spanish politicians have demanded Rajoy resign because of the police crackdown against the protesters.
And staying in Europe, dozens of people were arrested as neo-Nazis and anti-fascists clashed with police during a march by the extreme right-wing Nordic Resistance Movement, or NMR, in Gothenburg, Sweden.
These guys down here, they say that there isn't some certain people that are more worth than others, and you're not allowed to escape war and bad things in the world. They don't know what they're talking about.
Now, there were skirmishes with both groups throughout the afternoon as the police sought to calm tensions and keep the two groups apart. Swedish police said on their website that at least 32 people had been apprehended and that one police officer was slightly injured. A police spokesman later told Swedish state television SVT that an additional 10 people had been arrested. The police anticipated violence and had called in reinforcements from all police districts in Sweden and added 350 temporary jail beds in a police garage.